It hurts, it hurts. What else can I say? It hurts.
Arthritis hurts. There's no getting away from it.
You could feel great today, and tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're stiff and sore all over. I know when it's going to rain. I know about the weather before I see it, before I hear it.
They're human barometers, using aches and pains to forecast the weather. For many residents at the North Shore Hotel in Evanston, Illinois, when the barometric pressure goes down, their level of pain goes up.
My knees, they do hurt first, right? And then my back.
I have arthritis all over, starting with my toes. I have it in my ankles and my knees and my hands. I even have a little arthritis in this joint up here. So my ear will hurt.
Senior citizens are just one group of people who feel the weather in their bones. Their arthritis flares up just before a storm.
I know about a day or two in advance to expect pain.
The weather does affect me tremendously.
Here you can always hear somebody saying, you know, it's going to rain tomorrow or something like that. It's pretty common with us old folks.
Armchair meteorology isn't limited to old folks, though. Anyone with a joint injury or past bone break is susceptible. And while there's no conclusive evidence that our bodies can predict the weather, doctors who specialize in chronic pain don't dismiss the notion.
Their pain is real. There's no doubt about that.
Dr. Richard Pope is chief of rheumatology at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago. He treats patients whose bones have deteriorated due to inflammation of the lining around their joints. Pope has a possible explanation for why some patients respond to barometric changes. He compares the tissue in their joints to a balloon filled with air.
You take a balloon and you put it into a vacuum. As the pressure is reduced around that balloon, it expands. And so the same thing within the tissues around the joints. If there's already swelling, inflammation, abnormal mechanics in the joint, as the pressure goes down, the gas in the tissue expands, and this is felt as more pain by the patient, and this is why they sense the change of barometric pressure.
Pope bases his theory on a study done in 1960. Rheumatoid patients were placed in a chamber in which the barometric pressure and humidity were altered. 11 of the 12 subjects reacted to the changes in climate.
When the pressure became low and the humidity was high, patients sensed their joint pain a lot more.
But a more recent study at the University of Saskatchewan in Canada yielded entirely different results. In 1985, Dr. John T. Sibley monitored 70 patients and found no correlation between weather and their symptoms. His conclusion? People simply fail to notice the pain on days when it's warm and sunny.
I don't have pain in the summertime, really.
I like warm weather better than cold.
I think the warm weather makes you feel better. Makes you feel better, and if you do have a little ache and it's warm, it doesn't seem as bad.
People with arthritis aren't the only ones who ache during the rain and snow.
My body tells me when it's going to rain, and that is, in my view, bizarre. That never happened before I was diagnosed with a neurological disease.
Sharon Ambrose is a Washington, D.C. City Council member who has multiple sclerosis. She feels almost constant pain in her lower body. Most days she controls it with medication, but changes in the weather can really slow her down.
My discomfort, I have to say, is a very strange thing. One has a burning sensation. And that burning sensation is somewhat like a very, very bad sunburn, but it's burning and tingling.
MS is a disease where the body attacks itself. The myelin sheath, which protects nerve endings, is stripped away. Symptoms range from constant pain to a lack of balance and mobility to loss of vision.
One of the reasons I can't drive is I can't see lights change. On a sunny day, I can't even see the light itself, let alone what color it is. So if you can't see stoplights, you better not drive.
Hello, this is Dr. Schlossberg.
Mark Schlossberg is Ambrose's doctor, specializing in neurological disorders like MS, epilepsy, and migraine headaches. He can predict the weather by taking a look at the number of messages on his desk.
When we have a big blizzard or when we have a big rainstorm or a hurricane in the summer, that tends to set off headaches, and I have more patients calling me asking for their prescriptions to be refilled.
What day would you like now?
The cause of migraines is unknown, but there are certain triggers. Food and stress can bring on the pain, nausea, and sensitivity to light associated with migraines. Schlossberg is one of many doctors who believe that weather is another potential catalyst. He points to a study done in Alberta, Canada, where a phenomenon called the Chinook winds periodically brings much warmer air from the west.
As it turns out, there is a subset of patients with migraines who are more likely to get their headaches during the Chinook winds. There is another subset who are more likely to get their headaches right before the Chinook winds.
Studies on multiple sclerosis and the weather are rare, but Ambrose doesn't doubt her pain is real.
I have said to myself, okay, now I'm not going to get it in my head that every rainy, nasty day I'm going to feel lousy, because then it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'll feel crummy. But in fact, I do feel crummy on rainy, nasty days. And I can tell the day before whether it's going to be rainy and nasty.
For now, the evidence that our bodies can act as barometers is entirely anecdotal. Pain is subjective and difficult to measure. And while patients may resent being told their rainy day pain is all in their heads, scientists aren't likely to make solving this mystery a top priority. Proving a link between weather and health is only half the battle.
There's really not a whole lot that one could do about it, even if one knew that this theory was correct.
Nothing really works. I just live with it.
You can't change the weather. You might as well forget it.
I just learned to cope. You know, gray skies are here again. Put on a happy face.
You grin and bear it. I live with pain all the time, a small amount of it, but I live with it. I'm glad I'm alive.